Hey, what's going on, you guys? And welcome back to another episode of iTrek. Well, it looks like we just got our last installment of those UAP, UFO, extraterrestrial files that the government keeps talking about. And you know what? At this point, I am pretty much done with it. But we'll take a look at it so you can understand exactly what I mean. And we'll definitely take a look at a lot of other interesting and creepy clips. But before we get into any of that, do me the biggest favor and hit that like button for me, hit that hype button, and subscribe if you're not already a part of the iTrek fam. Let's just jump straight into this.
Now to the Pentagon releasing its latest trove of files related to UFOs. The dozens of videos, images, and reports, some as recent as last year. Here's Perry Russell.
Tonight, the eerie new videos released by the Pentagon showing more of what the government calls unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs. 40 new files today, including 19 videos. One UAP described by a pilot as having flight characteristics unlike anything they had seen in their 28 years of military service. 2 encounters allegedly happening just last year. One video shows a UAP in the clouds, at times partially hidden. The camera follows it for just over 2 minutes. A second video shows what looks like a 6-pointed star bobbing in the skies above the Yellow Sea in Asia. Cameras zooming in on this UAP from 2020. A partially redacted Pentagon report says it was about 12 to 15 feet tall. In 2015, the U.S. military capturing a UAP speeding past their camera. 3 new pictures released, including this one taken on board the Columbia Space Shuttle in 1996, an object apparently floating in orbit around Earth. It's still not clear what any of these objects are. Rachel, so far the Pentagon has released more than 300 UAP files under directive by President Trump. The Pentagon says more files are coming, Rachel.
Yeah, lots of interest in this. Okay, Perry, thank you.
Well, now you can see exactly what I mean by I'm not too much interested in it anymore, because you can find more information on the internet everywhere else besides traditional mainstream media outlets. So at this point, I'm pretty much done with it unless they come with some real good juicy stuff that we've never seen before. You know what I mean? Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Do we think there's a dead body?
Actually come from our future. In the near future to us, there is a catastrophe on this planet. And much of mankind is destroyed. That mankind splits into 2 different species. And one of these species goes and lives underground. And while underground, they develop these insectoid traits. This above world of today was not habitable, and they had to go underground and live for some time with what they called the ant people. And you have to wonder if perhaps J-Rod is actually an insectoid human being from our own future.
So who is gonna tell me that when you get a headache from not drinking water, it's because your brain is shrinking, it's pulling away from your skull, and that's where the pain comes from?
Studies show that 97% of scientists agree with whoever is funding them.
Ever wonder how these gas stations always have coffee on hand, but you never see anybody making it? This is how they're pumping it in.
I'm in love with this sentence. You will never feel ready, because ready isn't a feeling, it's a decision.
There's a crack in there, y'all watch. You see that shit? Y'all see him? He's under us. Yeah, I'm at work. I just fed him a piece of
I don't know what to call this video or title it. There was just something weird that was captured when somebody took a photo, and it was like on the live setting for the photos, and it got this. My thoughts and opinions. I think this is something hard to fake. I mean, it's in the picture. When you can't see it during like the normal picture, and then when she holds down on like the live photo, something runs by. Do you have an explanation or any thoughts or ideas? Please let me know, because this is kind of confusing me. I don't know what this thing is. Is it a skinwalker? I don't know.
You gotta realize that everybody that works in these studios, they all family. The kids are being hired by the parents, by the executives, because that's their uncles and cousins and granddads. You gotta realize that this is a club, and if you're not rocking with this Satanism and this type of practice that they walking around, you know, putting spells and putting witchcraft in the air and doing all these rituals, if you're not down with this, then you're not gonna be part of this club. This club is for the people that is willing to serve Satan. This is what the club is.
Drinking 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day increases your chances of living to age 100. Research shows that people who drink coffee are more likely to be healthier when they reach age 90 and older. Both caffeinated and decaffeinated coffee can increase your longevity, but there is stronger evidence that caffeinated coffee is better. Drinking more than 3 cups of coffee does not provide additional benefits. I'm a professor at UC San Diego, and I'm an expert on longevity and healthy aging. Follow me to learn more about the latest research on longevity.
So this strange-looking alien creature was photographed in a small village in Italy back in 1993 by a gentleman called Filiberto Caponi. It started when 23-year-old Filiberto Caponi heard what he thought was an injured cat. But when he went outside to investigate, he was met with the sight of this hideous-looking creature that he described as being only 60 centimeters tall, had tubes coming out of its chest that moved in and out whenever it breathed. It made no sound, and it had weird, wet-looking, scaly skin. Filiberto kicked the creature and it ran away, but it returned, and over the course of 4 months, he managed to snap a bunch of Polaroid images, including this one. Filiberto kept most of the Polaroid images stored inside a wooden box that he claimed inexplicably set on fire. But what do you think about the Caponi case?
Not so fun fact, Meta's AI glasses have killed 3 people in the past month as witnesses report seeing the glasses explode on people's faces as they were being worn. However, Meta has announced that this will only occur if the recording light has been tampered with.
Now, exploding on your face because you're tampering with the red light, somebody's going to need to rectify that, and fast. Because if you go blind behind something like that, or even lose your life, there isn't a check big enough. Trust me.
People don't know about Star Wars. It actually talks about the intergalactic war between the fallen angels, between these species that are outer-worldly, and people don't know this, but even look, for example, like Yoda. When Aleister Crowley was doing a ritual, he summoned a entity that looked exactly like Yoda.
Mephistopheles?
Yes. Yeah. People think that like they just came up with this out of nowhere. Even Darth Maul too. A lot of African warlocks were coming out saying the Darth Maul character from Star Wars, we've encountered this entity in rituals. Where are they getting these ideas from? They are getting it from a different realm because it's happening in a different realm. And then they package it as fiction so you never know about the unseen battle that they've hidden from us since the very beginning.
It's interesting the way that the Star Wars crawl is always like a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. It's like, what are you saying? Like, I mean, like, is this like a real story? You know what's even interesting is the way that Gnosticism is kind of an inversion where they make the God of the Bible the bad guy. They make the devil the good guy in the story. In Star Wars, have you ever looked at Darth Vader's costume closely? It resembles like a high priest. He's got all the buttons on his thing. It looks like an ephod. They actually even said it used to have Hebrew letters on it. So if you think about it, the first Star Wars movie, you know, he's going into this meeting and he's like, this ancient religion you practice. And so when Darth Vader goes in there like to summon the Emperor, he goes into this room that nobody else can go into. He bows down, and then all of a sudden, it's like he's going into the Holy of Holies. It is the inversion, so like he is the bad guy.
Mini data update, mini data center update. Y'all be careful what you Google search. People like me see it. Y'all are weird. Not saying all y'all, but like the Google searches that come in, Alexas and all sorts of stuff is absolutely insane. I'm getting data. I'm able to read data from everyone in like, let's see, 150 mile radius each way. Insane, yo. And y'all, the ideas that come in that y'all have in your head, your phone reads that, comes through here, and I'm able to I have so many different ideas that I could just take now from people that have great ideas, and I just make it come to fruition, and they'll be like, what? I just thought of that yesterday. That's exactly what happens. So, yeah, mining data right here is the future, I guess. So, mining data, selling data, all that comes from your head, y'all. It's insane. Insane.
Man, we're living in a time where that might not be cap. I mean, he said a lot of wild, far out things, but we're living in a wild, far out time.
What are they trying to tell us with this Kai Cenat intro? Look, he's falling. It's over. Look, now he's going back in the sky. Something is going on here, guys, and I think we all know. They're showing us what happened to Kai Cenat. Out of all intros, now look to the right. Doesn't that look like LeBron cutting his hair? Something is going on with this intro, guys, and they are telling us something. Right here, too. Kai Cenat screamed at his mom. Why? Since when does he do that? Cuff him, the streamer. He even said it. That's not Kai. Because Kai never spoke to his mom like that before. And his friends that were close to him would know that. Ever since he started holding this journal, something has been up with Kai Cenat, and everybody is saying he has been replaced. This is the Kai Cenat I remember. Full of life, full of love, more happier. This new Kai Cenat is always screaming, always upset, saying mean things to his friends. I know you've seen the videos. Yup, this is the Kai Cenat I knew. Getting to it, getting to that money. Streaming, doing what he loves. Not a clothing brand. But now, he's recruiting new people. If you know, you know. And I don't know anything. But Kai Cenat knows. His mom knows that it's not him. Allegedly. But it's nothing that she could do about it. People are saying this is the rise and fall of Kai Cenat, and he would never be the same ever again. But of course, guys, entertainment purposes only. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's just my opinion. If you ask me, Kai Cenat is doing just fine. Let me know what you think about this. Did they get him, or is he still the same Kai Cenat? I'm out.
So now you're telling me that it has been approved in Japan, the ability to mix animal and human DNA, therefore splicing it and creating animal-human hybrids that are allowed to come to term. Now I'm going to let you marinate that for just a second. Are you good? Are we ready to cook this chicken? Now, the reason behind it is it's supposed to potentially help with human organ donors and transplants. Therefore, if you needed a heart, a liver, a lung, a kidney, you would have access to that quicker, because if you know anything about that, it is a very lengthy process and a very challenging one for those who need organs. But there are some huge red flags and a lot of skepticism attached to it, because they're not entirely sure what the human cells will potentially do to the animal brain. And then there's also the whole thing of religion. I swear every day I wake up, I'm like, what sci-fi movie did I just get a starring role on? What timeline did we just jump on? What universe are we currently residing in? So what do you think? Is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? Let me know. Put it in the comments. And obviously this is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only, but we need to talk about this.
I'm gonna need you to get out of there right now, stop touching that shit, and burn it straight to the ground. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, scientists have discovered the world's largest spider web on the border of Greece and Albania in a sulfur cave. And we're not talking about a spider web this big. Nah, that's actually pretty small compared to this bullshit. Because this web is 1,140.
Nobody's gonna know.
There could also be no confidence vote in Parliament.
Nobody's gonna know.
They're gonna know.
How would they know? How would they know?
Now, did you catch what just went on right there? Both of their backgrounds were absolutely the same. I mean, go back, pause it, and check for yourself.
So you know how all the farmers are going crazy about the ticks? Well, I'm reading this book, and it says that
According to Polish-Slovakian research, ticks are attracted to mobile phone radiation. So leaving that cell phone at home might lower the risk of tick bites. Could this be part of why the reason the tick population worldwide is increasing? Let me know if you'd like to see more.
Do you know that your fingers are not controlled by your hand? If you wiggle your fingers, you will actually notice that they're controlled by your forearm. Your hand is basically just a puppet. It's bones and cables. Those cables are your tendons. They run all the way from your forearm inside of this little tunnel to your fingers. And everyone thinks that the brain is the hardest part to build in a robot, the AI that powers it. But according to Elon, the hand is actually half of the engineering for the entire robot. But this has been finally solved. 1X, the company behind Neo Robot, just came out with something that seems like alien tech. Both Tesla and 1X have realized that maybe you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Just simulate human hand. Put all the motors in the forearm and run cables to the fingers. All that just to simulate the fraction of our power.
What the Bro, what are you?
You're guessing where this one's going. So you know how trees have rings that mark every year that they've been alive? Well, some coral do something similar. Every year it grows one larger band. But here's the thing. Some corals also leave behind tiny growth lines every single day. They're so precise that scientists can literally count how many days that coral lived through each year. So one geologist started counting these rings from ancient coral from 400 million years ago, and he kept finding something crazy. Instead of finding 365 daily rings in a year, there were over 400. Now the Earth has probably always taken about the same amount of time to go around our sun, but we had theorized that the Earth's independent rotation has constantly been slowed by our moon. And when its independent rotation slows, the days get longer. So this ancient coral's rings were in fact the first direct proof that Earth's days have been getting longer, from as low as 8-hour days 4.5 billion years ago. I hope you learned something.
The most dangerous line on your face is located right here, between your eyebrows. A single deep vertical line, cutting straight through your palace of life. This indicates a stubborn, hyper-obsessive personality. It will seriously impact family harmony and devastate your career through reckless, blind decisions.
Have you ever seen the video where Kai Cenat and the rest of the guys are praying and Kevin Hart is interrupting the prayer?
At the table.
At the table.
Yeah.
We got to throw that video on here
Put that
because
up there.
that's compelling.
Food that we're about to eat to make sure our nutrients are making our food and our nutrients that we're about to eat, make sure that we're good. I say thank you for having all of us here gathered today at this table. As people don't make it to Thanksgiving, you know. Well, I can't even focus. It's being weird.
Dear Heavenly Father, first and foremost, I want to thank you for the food we're about to receive, but I want to tell you that you probably need to pay some serious attention to the other end of the table, maybe throw whatever world of
something a little extra.
Yeah, just also we got some people here that are struggling with weight that shouldn't be here at Thanksgiving. Some people should have took this day off. Drewski. Right? I think that
you had to say my name.
Well, it's my prayer. So you can say
Right,
no.
yeah.
I also think that, we need to be thankful for so much. And in this case, I'm with a strong group of people because, looks ain't it around here. It ain't a batch of attractive. These some strong-faced gentlemen, right? They all got the short end of the stick. For them to be ugly and cool, I think is dope. Right, Willie? Right? You said it. You said it. You said they some ugly motherfuckers when I saw you in that bed.
Because I have been places, hella celebrities in the room. Private chef is cooking the food, and somebody will say, let's pray before we eat. Certain people, nose will turn up, but pray. And I'll never forget this, man. It's a very popular model. She says, oh, if we pray to Lucifer, it's fine.
Said that straight up.
So they said it straight out. Now, how do you react in a situation like that? They call Lucifer the morning star.
What is it about the roast that has like a satanic look about it?
It is a humiliation ritual.
There's just something about it, and you look at it, you're like, there's something weird here.
You see the checkerboard floor sometimes. You see the statues. It's a humiliation ritual. Who wants to show up someplace where everyone's going to make fun of you?
And talk shit to you.
And talk shit to you. Where I come from, We only crack jokes with people that we got love for. If you a complete stranger, I don't know you, you better watch what you say to me. We not gonna play like that.
On Vision OS, Siri AI takes full advantage of the power of spatial computing with a 3D visualization of Siri that you can place anywhere in your space. And you don't have to say, "Hey Siri," just look at Siri and start speaking.
Tell me about the show Silo, and check if I'm free when it premieres.
Here is another set of found photos of a man who reportedly raised a baby Bigfoot. Just like the other story, he tried to keep it all a secret and raise the baby in confidence. There are two separate photos that document his experiment or project. One of him holding the baby after he had just recently found it, and one of him posing with the creature 10 years later when it was fully grown. The man writes, "For 10 years, I kept the most impossible secret a person could keep. Hidden in my barn, growing from an infant no bigger than a human toddler into a 7-foot-tall creature that shouldn't exist. I'd fed it, taught it, and protected it from a world that would never understand. And then one October morning in 2005, I walked outside to find something massive standing at the edge of my property, staring at my barn with an intensity that made my blood run cold. The mother had finally come, and she wanted her child back. If these photos and stories are real, this is some of the coolest evidence ever. If you remember, I also just recently covered another story pretty similar to this, so if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. But it also hasn't come out what this man's name was or where he's from. I think he wants to keep his name and location a secret. But the photos do show his face, so maybe we'll find out. It's unknown if the photos were intentionally found or if they were leaked. Maybe his secret got out and people wanted to share it with the world. And once again, we don't know who took the pictures, but it was likely someone he trusted a lot. But what do you guys think? Do you like evidence like this, and do you think this one is real? It remains pretty controversial, so I'll leave it up to you.
I'm not quite sure about that one. It looked a little shifty to me, but definitely tap in and let me know what you think.
It's just been revealed that half of Japanese companies have an old man who gets paid to do nothing. They're deliberately not given any work and intentionally told to hang around the office until retirement. And these old men are quietly bankrupting the companies, but they can't fire them because it's a cultural taboo. Instead, office workers who are in their 50s and 60s get quietly moved to a desk by the window. Instead of any real work, they're given paperwork to do and a couple emails to send. They want to make the job so boring that these workers resign on their own. There's even a name for it. They call it Madoji Wazoku, the window tribe. This isn't just a fringe thing either. Around half of all firms in Japan have one of these old men just sitting around in the company. And it's the younger staff who feel it most. 9 in 10 say these workers drag down morale and just dump extra work on everyone else. Zoom out further and it's reshaped the entire Japanese labour market. The country has the highest senior employment rate of any developed economy, and a quarter of people over 65 are still on the payroll, compared to the UK, where this is just 1 in 9. So while the West is busy cutting headcount, Japan's real bottleneck isn't getting rid of workers, it's running out of window seats.
Remember, the smartest people aren't information collectors, they're pattern recognizers.
Did you know that the reason we see most cave paintings with red and black paint is because those are the last colors to fade, and they were likely very colorful to begin with?
Instagram just quietly added a new feature that allows anyone to create AI-generated content with your face on it entirely without your permission. And it looks like nearly all Instagram users are auto-opted in by default. You can turn this feature off in settings, but there's a more important theme here. TikTok also created the same feature, and it published it a few months ago, automatically turning it on for every single user. The reality is, the future has already arrived, where it's inevitable that tons of fake and misleading videos with familiar, trusted faces will soon be flooding your feeds.
Your phone is about to stop being yours. Starting September 2026, a silent update will non-consensually be pushed by Google, will block every Android app whose developer hasn't registered with Google and signed their contract, paid up, and handed over a government ID. So Google now requires a government ID to actually sideload apps. If you're following the page for a long time, you'll know I've been talking about this for over a year now. Every time I do a video on it, it gets just buried. So this one will probably get buried too. You might as well use an iPhone now though, although Samsung's cameras do seem a little better. Peace and love.
Diamonds are forever. LeBron James is back at it. Shut up! Why does he keep doing that? Oh, you know why he's doing that, because diamonds are forever. Let's not forget that. LeBron has been doing this hand sign for a long time. Remember? I mean, he does have the Rockefeller chain on, right? It's all good, guys. Listen, even though they keep doing this hand sign, you have to remember everybody does this hand sign. Diamonds are forever, you know? It's something that him, Jay-Z, and his buddies do. Nothing to worry about, guys. It's all good. But like, for real, they've been doing this for a long time, as you can see. You know what? I think I'm about to start doing this. This is a pretty cool hand sign. But something's definitely going on with LeBron James. People are saying that he might have an expiration date. That's not true. Only food has expiration dates. But of course, guys, entertainment purposes only. The Rock is in the building, as you can see. Diamonds are forever. Everything is okay. Nothing to worry about here, guys. I don't know what's up with LeBron. Let me know if you know what's up with LeBron. I'm out.
Are you sick of Earth? Well, NASA is currently recruiting a years-long volunteer mission to simulate Mars and the Moon. Starting in August of 2027, for a 1-year period, volunteers will be based in an isolation chamber, essentially, in Houston, Texas, in the Johnson Space Center. And while the isolation simulation, the environment that you'll be in, is fully built via 3D printer, contains a rover, along with a non-flushable toilet. The first phase, according to NASA, will take place in a 650 square foot spacecraft, where volunteers will live as though they're traveling from Earth to the Moon or to Mars. Then the volunteers will transition from living in this rover to living on the planet itself. And then they'll be going back to Earth on that same spacecraft. So for a year, you'll be in this essentially isolation away from Earth, even though you're on Earth. So you can easily apply on NASA's website right now. Applications are now open. If you're really sick and tired of Earth, there's your bet. Spread the word. Follow along to stay updated on all the news you need to know about. I'll have more to come very soon.
How about no?
Talk about the Japanese mermaid called the Ningyo. Ningyo translates into human fish, and unlike the Western mermaid, they're described as grotesque and have more of a fish body with a monkey face. So the interesting thing is, catching one was considered a terrible omen, known to bring storms, misfortune, and shipwrecks. But eating Ningyo meat was known to bring extreme longevity and grant immortality. There's even a story about a nun that lived to be 800 years old named Yao Bikuni. Her dad was a fisherman and managed to get some Ningyo meat.
You must really want to see the afterlife. That is not a caterpillar you're supposed to touch. Meet the Lenomia obliqua. These walking pain inducers are found in South America, mostly around the Amazon. They're also found in the Guinness Book of World Records as the most venomous caterpillar in the world. You see, the first thing you'll notice about them is these needles running all the way down their back. Well, those needles are venomous spines, and each spine has its own venom gland. So the more spines you touch, the more venom you get pumped with. In other words, if you grab one or step on one, I'm sorry, you're gonna get met with immediate searing pain, swelling, nausea, followed by a difficulty breathing, hemorrhaging, and possibly a meeting with your maker. And some people have described the pain as feeling like lava coursing through every vein on their body. No thank you. Moral of the story, if you ever see this caterpillar, keep a safe distance. And definitely don't do this. And as always, follow for more facts.
Oh look, 3 months, no bugs have touched it, and there's an anthill right here. I want y'all to look at this now, look. Holy smokes, look at that, there's even leaves, but no bugs have touched this, man. Yeah, this is ice cream. Well, frozen dessert is what a lot of them say it is now, and I really hope y'all aren't eating this stuff, man, because just look at it, man. I can't believe I used to eat these Klondike bars. Look, that's a Klondike bar. Look at it. Ugh. That's some kind of like strawberry shortcake on a stick, and that was a Twix bar right there. Now, I did touch that one with my little blowtorch or whatever just to give it that little extra little crispiness, you know, because I was going to eat it, you know what I mean, after a couple weeks just to see how it still tasted. It probably, honestly, still tastes exactly the freaking same as it did. What do y'all think about that? I don't know, man. I think I might make this one like a wall plaque or something and like sell it like as a piece of like wall art or something like that. Look, like this right here, or can use the backside like this right here. Who knows? But anyways, man, y'all have a good day.
The heck did I just catch? I don't know if I can hold him, bro.
I've been with Ryan for 30 minutes and he's
you hold
caught
this
an unidentified species.
This is. I don't want to get hurt, bro. I don't know if you're.
As he holds it.
Dude. What the heck is this? The ink is purple, man.
That is insane.
Look at this thing.
Dude, your hands are covered.
Dude, what the heck is that?
Let's see what happens when he goes back.
Wow.
Wait, he's gonna...
Look
Oh,
at
look.
that.
It's swimming. That's insane.
Dude, that is crazy.
Oh, what? That is the weirdest thing I've ever caught in my life.
In a blink and you'll miss it moment, a ghastly face can be seen over the girl's shoulder. The video's sudden twist has left audiences bewildered, prompting speculation about the eerie entity's origins.
Is that a moth?
As the car cruises down the dark highway, a shape suddenly appears on the right-hand side. When slowed down, it looks like some kind of crouching figure, humanoid but distorted, almost as if it's watching the passing vehicles.
Oh God, this, in case y'all haven't heard, it is July 12th, 2025. I'm in Ohio and it's 4:29 p.m. We, the United States, is in the middle of a zombie invasion. I'm laughing because it's terrifying. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's absolutely fucking terrifying. I'm not gonna say where or how or what, because TikTok loves me so much that every time I put something out there that's, well, you know, interesting, they shut it down. So just go into that little search bar and type zombie. Please, be safe.
They didn't call them dinosaur, they called them dragon. The word dinosaur wasn't made up till 1841. It's a brand new word in the dictionary. I got some old dictionaries and looked for the word dinosaur. Even in 1891, the word was not in the dictionary. They called them dragons. Bible mentions dragons 34 times. Even in the 1946 dictionary, listed as now rare. As the population of people began to grow after the flood, the population of dinosaurs began to go down. Because nobody wants to live next door to a dragon. How many grizzly bears are roaming loose in the woods right here in Bucks County? None, right? How many were there 400 years ago, you think? Probably a whole bunch of them. Gilgamesh is famous for slaying a dragon. A Chinese legend tells about a guy named Yu. It says after the Great Flood, they surveyed the land of China and divided it into sections. He built channels to drain the water off to the sea and make the land livable again. Many snakes and dragons were driven from the marshlands. This piece of pottery from Egypt shows two long-necked dinosaurs. Why would they put dragons and dinosaurs on different pieces of pottery that are found from ancient civilizations? What are these dragons? And the Bible talks about a fiery flying serpent. What is this? Herodotus in 400 BC reported the fiery flying serpents. You might want to read that story sometime. The fiery flying... Anyway, in the book of Job, it talks about out of his mouth, Leviathan, go burning lamps and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils goeth smoke. Alexander the Great reported dragons when he conquered part of India. Saddam spent a fortune rebuilding the ancient city of Babylon. On the ancient Babylonian walls, which they rebuilt, they found carvings of lions and dragons. This is from 600 BC. How would they know about dragons in 600 BC? Some were still alive, still lived with man. Why would they put dragons on the walls of the city? The Ishtar Gate in Babylon. It's over there right now if you want to go see.
A random truck on the highway is going viral right now, and not because of what it's carrying, but because absolutely nothing about it makes sense. At first, people noticed what looked like a giant T-Rex strapped to the back of the trailer, but that wasn't even the weirdest part. Then viewers spotted a sign attached to the truck that literally says, "This is not a horse, it's a dinosaur," which somehow only made the whole thing even more suspicious. The longer people watched, the stranger it got. The way the dinosaur was being transported felt unusual, almost like it wasn't supposed to be seen by the public at all. Then some viewers noticed the dinosaur appears to move ever so slightly, just enough to make people question whether it's completely fake. But the detail that's freaking everyone out is hanging off the very back of the truck. It looks almost like a human hand slowly swinging back and forth as the vehicle moves down the road. Now, the dinosaur isn't even the main mystery anymore. People are asking what kind of situation would require a sign like that, why something appears to be moving, and what exactly is hanging off the back of the trailer. Because the more you watch this video, the less normal it feels.
Did this person capture shadow people in this footage? Apparently the home is haunted, as it dates back to before the Civil War, and the family that lives there constantly experiences paranormal activity.
Just when I thought shit couldn't get weirder. They can't fake these, right? I thought they couldn't fake these, but watch this. There's a car, right? And it's supposed to be just meat? So confused. It's like a fucking... Like, this is supposed to be meat. Like, what the... It's like the meat is inside of this. That was inside of the shell. Like, this, it's like a Slim Jim. And I...
CERN just shut down the Large Hadron Collider until 2030, and now the cornucopia is back. So on June 29th, the LHC was shut down for a 4-year-long upgrade, but people online are already saying that reality feels different. Ever since the shutdown, I'm seeing people say that time is starting to feel normal again instead of being stuck on fast forward. Others say they feel like a weight has lifted. Their senses are sharper, the sky is clearer, they're finally getting restful sleep and dreaming again, they're not waking up with headaches, and even some with a constant ringing in their ears has suddenly stopped. Now leave a comment if you've experienced any of this, because apparently a lot of people are noticing it, including me. But what actually is CERN and what is the LHC? Well, CERN is the European Organization for Nuclear Research, founded in 1954, based near Geneva on the Swiss-French border. The Large Hadron Collider is the world's largest particle accelerator, a roughly 17-mile underground loop where physicists smash particles together near the speed of light to study and find out the true nature of reality, and discover things like the Higgs boson or God particle. Before the LHC was first fired up in 2008, there were a lot of people online worried that it was going to create something like a black hole that would destroy the Earth. It didn't, but the weird part is that after they first turned it on, a lot of people say that reality started feeling off. People said time started to feel faster, and the world in general kept getting stranger and more chaotic. This was also around the time when the Mandela effect seemed to start, and people have speculated that somehow CERN has caused this and made us to jump into different timelines, and that's why people are remembering things differently. And here's something else interesting. Every few years, the LHC enters a major shutdown for repairs or upgrades, and shortly after, strange or global events seem to follow. Most notably, the first time it was shut down was right after the first test, and the global financial crisis of 2008 happened. And the last time it shut down, well, that happened right before the pandemic started in 2020. Now, I'm not saying that CERN caused any of this, but when you run the world's largest particle accelerator trying to crack open the secrets of the universe while also doing mock rituals like this on your campus at night, people are going to start to ask questions. Now, what is this new shutdown for? Well, they're shutting it down until 2030 to upgrade it to the high luminosity LHC, which is said to be 10 times more powerful. Now, it's probably all just coincidence, and that cornucopia image, well, I ran it through a few AI detectors and got mixed results, so who knows exactly, but if the last decade is any indication, we might be in for a wild ride when they turn the LHC back on.
And this is what happens when we try to sit down to eat. Move, Rocket.
Look. Rocky, the chair's moving.
That's weird.
He doesn't even believe me.
It's not unusual.
I was walking home and I saw this dirt mound. And I was like, dang, that's a big pile. Y'all, this is an ant pile. That is all ants. I don't know if y'all can tell. But
Y'all, why would Satan be in hell torturing the people that disobey the same God that he disobeyed? Make it make sense.
Did you know that there is a real-life college of mediumship and psychic studies located in a small town in England? This is the Arthur Findlay College, and it might look like Hogwarts, but it's a Victorian stately home where you can go and stay and take a 5-day workshop or even just a weekend workshop to develop your own mediumship and psychic abilities. Students come from all over the world to attend the Arthur Findlay College for courses on mediumship development, psychic development, spirit art, healing, trance mediumship, philosophy, demonstrating mediumship. The list goes on and on. You don't have to be a medium already to attend. You can go as a complete beginner and they will help you learn about your own mediumship development. Now, going to the college is a very immersive experience. You'll be in tutorials, meditation, lectures, and practice groups all day from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. It's more affordable than you think. A 5-day workshop generally costs around $1,000, and that includes your stay. You stay right inside the building in one of these rooms, and 3 meals a day. I have been lucky enough to attend the Arthur Findlay College several times, and it is an absolutely incredible experience every time. If you feel drawn to going, I would say book that flight and go visit.
We're walking over here, Palisades Park with my kids, obviously. And I'm walking and I see this fish. Does anybody know what kind of fish this is? Anybody help me? It's a fucking monster fish just washed up ashore. Pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. Cool, interesting, I don't know. Have a great day.
It almost kind of looked like a tuna, but not completely. Looked like some kind of hybrid tuna, if you ask me. But if you know what it is, tap in and fill us in.
The parasite that's causing explosive diarrhea is messing people up all over the United States. And these are the foods that you might need to stay away from if you don't want to be on that list. They're saying that you might need to stay away from berries, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries. And I know a lot of people love strawberries, but right now you might need to stay away from them. They're saying that you might need to stay away from broccoli. They're saying that you might need to stay away from pre-made salad mix. And for those of you who don't know what the pre-made salad mixes is, those are salads in a bag. They're saying that you might just have to get fresh vegetables. They're even saying that certain herbs you might need to stay away from also, like cilantro, like parsley, like basil. And they're saying don't eat those at this moment. This is probably the same reason that they said Taco Bell was under fire, because you already know Taco Bell uses those herbs. And for those of y'all that was clowning people that eat well-done meat, I bet you ain't clowning them now. Medical officials are saying that you need to overcook your meat. And if you don't overcook your meat, you need to make sure that your meat is 100% done. So that steak you was eating at medium rare, you need not to do that. You need to make that shit well done. They're even saying that you shouldn't eat your eggs runny, that you need to make sure your eggs are done properly. And now for the parasite, like I told you guys before, this parasite usually can last 2 days, 2 weeks, or it can even last a month. So don't be on the bad side of history. Pay attention. I'm out.
Yo, gang, am I tripping? Or that building look fake as hell? It's just like, there, like, look at this building. Look at this building. And look at that one. That shit glued onto a wall, gang.
I spent some time in Panama and had that same experience. But the buildings are beautiful though.
I'll put this peach and some
vinegar water. Look what's coming off this thing. SubhanAllah. That's crazy. You got to clean your fruits. Imagine somebody eating this thing without washing it. Plain water won't do it.
Hello, Mr. Deer. There he is. Look at him. He's been there all along.
Hey, buddy, that's not a deer. You should probably get out of there ASAP.
Y'all, tell me if I'm going to be okay, but there's 8 of these, and I ate 5, which means there's 3 left. And, dude, oh my fucking god, look at that shit. This is bad. Like, same with this. This is literally expired on the 19th. There's 22 pieces of them. There's 4 left.
Everyone's saying that the K is back. The K is back in Chick-fil-A. I got this cup yesterday from Chick-fil-A in Tinley Park, Illinois on July 7th, 2026. I'm sorry, July 6th, 2026. Today is July 7th, 2026, and Chick-fil-A is spelled CHICKFILA. Previously, it was CHIC, and people were saying like, oh, there used to be a K or there wasn't a K. So I showed one of my shirts that I got from Chick-fil-A when I first started working at the Chick-fil-A in Orland Park, Illinois, about 19 or so years ago now. So it seems like sometimes the K is there, sometimes the K is not there, depending on the year or the timeline. Because many people have spoken about timelines as well. Some people even mentioned like Fruit Loops has changed their name back and forth. People have mentioned the Mandela effect, of course. But all in all, everyone's saying that the K is back. So welcome back, K. I'm going to save the cup, y'all. I'm going to write the date and the year on this cup in case we got to come back to this video for reference a few years from now.
There are dark factories in China right now where they didn't bother having light switches because they're all robotic. So you have this robotics wave that's coming this direction and the AI wave. These two technologies are going to do tons of work in our economy, and a lot of those companies are not going to pay meaningful taxes. So what you're going to have is you're going to have this diminishing pool of human workers who are paying the tax revenue, looking up, saying, where the heck is the tax
the
going?
Robots? I mean, what's
yes,
the answer?
Tax the AI, tax the robots, stop taxing human workers, try and make it so that folks like me, employers, actually can hire people, and more of that money gets to the person I'm trying to employ as opposed to the pipes, the taxes, the healthcare, et cetera, et cetera.
But taxing still exists. It just goes after those who are making the most efficiencies with AI and robots.
AI is going to do so much work. Robots are going to do so much work. And right now, those companies are not going to pay meaningful taxes. So what you're going to see is the worst of all worlds, where people are paying and then scrambling to try and keep jobs. Young people are not going to be finding jobs because those jobs are going to be replaced by AI, and the AI and robotics companies are not going to be paying taxes. And then we're going to be fighting with each other saying, where did the money go? When it's obvious the money is going into the cloud, toward the AI companies, and in a few years toward the robotics companies.
You agree with Elizabeth Warren about the idea of a wealth tax?
I think a wealth tax is a bad idea because capital is portable, human beings are portable. Wealth taxes on a state level are super dumb. But an AI tax, again, this is not just Andrew Yang, this is Dario Amodei, this is Vinod Khosla, this is John Arnold. Even Elon's like, hey, we're going to head toward universal high income because of the abundance created by both AI and robotics. So the question is, how do we start moving in that direction as quickly as possible before the pitchforks come out, before our young people come home and just waste away in the basement, et cetera, et cetera.
You are connected to everything in the universe and everything with you. Whether you can see it with the naked eye or not is unimportant. The only difference between one thing and another is in density or amplitude of vibration. That is the only difference. When you choose certain thoughts, brain cells are affected. They vibrate and send off electric waves. When you are concentrating on those thoughts, you increase the amplitude of vibration of those cells. The electric waves become much more potent. Do you want your thoughts to be more potent? Develop the willpower, the will, a mental faculty. That gives you the ability to concentrate. That you are originating those electric waves, know that you are also determining the density of them by your own choice. You must also know that since you are originating these electric waves, your whole being is in that particular vibration.
Well, you guys, hey, that's another one in the books, man. I appreciate you guys for always stopping by and watching one with me. If you haven't already, do me the biggest favor and hit that like button for me, hit that hype button and subscribe. And always remember to do your homework, man. Life isn't everything that it appears to be. All right, you guys, I'll catch you on the next one.